The Pet Sitters and Journals tab of the business settings is where you set sitter permissions, availability, overbooking, late arrival alerts, and journals. The staff dashboard message is similar to the client dashboard message, except it is shown for staff. You can include updates, information they need to know, policies. Just keep in mind that this is a passive notice that they will not see all the time, only when they first log in and go to the dashboard page. If you want your pet sitters to be able to update clients and pets, you can allow that here. Managers can do that if they have access to clients and pets. For either staff role, they can only update clients and pets that they already have access to. Managers can access clients based on their territory permissions, and pet sitters can access who they are assigned to visits for or have keys for. Clients may sometimes leave notes to management on their visits. If you want to allow pet sitters to see those notes, you can turn that on here. You may want to limit what pet sitters can see as far as their pay, depending on how and when you pay. This is where you would set that. You can have it be not visible at all to pet sitters. On the schedule only, which would be they see the total number for the time period on their schedule. Estimated earnings only allows them to run reports based on the pay for their visits. And then actual payroll is when you run payroll and you pay them based on that number. Sometimes those numbers are different than the estimated earnings based on changes to past pay periods and exactly the period that you're running. The pet sitter assignment mode allows you to determine what happens to visits when you assign them to pet sitters. If you want to treat them more like employees, you may want to add it immediately to their schedule. Or if they're more independent contractors, you may choose to let them accept or decline. Pet sitter confirmation reminders are an additional step that pet sitters need to take prior to the visits taking place. You may have assigned them visits weeks or months before, and the confirmation reminder requires them to use the confirm button on those visits a certain number of days before the visits take place, just as an additional check to make sure that they know that they are going to perform those visits. If you're not sure about this feature, we recommend you leave it off, as it does require additional steps for your pet sitters to take. The time and mileage tracking will keep track of both the time and the mileage as sitters progress through their day. It will automatically clock them in when they arrive at their first visit of the day, and then if they do not clock out themselves, it will auto clock them out if it detects that they haven't been active for an hour at the end of their day. The mileage tracking requires the mobile app. With the time and mileage tracking turned on, you can set up hourly pay rates for your staff. And then when you run payroll, those hours and rates will be included in payroll, in addition to any per visit pay that you have. So using this, you can do a combination of hourly and per visit pay, or you can do only hourly pay and set all of your per visit pay to $0. You can choose how time off is treated in the system. You may want to approve all time off requests. That may be more for if you have employees, or you may let pet sitters choose their own availability, which is more common for independent contractors. If you want pet sitters to perform all the key actions themselves without being scheduled from management, you would turn the pet sitters can pick up and return keys themselves setting to on. With this setting off, it will be required for management to schedule key transfers in order for pet sitters to pick up and drop off keys. If you want to be notified in system when pet sitters need keys, use the key transfer notices setting, and it will look this many days ahead for any instances where a pet sitter needs a key for a visit. If you want to be alerted when a pet sitter is late to a visit, use the late arrival alerts. With this on, you can set a threshold based on when the visit starts and when you want to be alerted that the pet sitter has not arrived. These settings will be different depending on if you use specific times or not. You can also fine-tune which of your services and time blocks you get alerted for. If you want to be notified when pet sitters are overbooked, meaning the total amount of time for the visits within a time block exceeds the total length of a time block, you can turn that on here. The system won't prevent overbooking, but it can alert you that overbooking has happened, and then you can decide whether or not you want to make adjustments. The pet care journals allow pet sitters to communicate back and forth with clients about specific visits. With this on, it allows pet sitters to send those journals to their clients, and the information which pet sitters fill out and which clients can see can be adjusted here. You may want to limit the amount of communication that sitters can have with clients, which you could do by turning off the journal notes and journal commenting. If you're not confident about any particular sitters sending journals to clients, you can require journal approval. This can be done here for all pet sitters. It can also be done for individual pet sitters, and it can be done at the staff segment level for groups of pet sitters. When you require journals for services, it means that the pet sitter won't be able to arrive at their next visit until they've added a journal for their previous visit. This is a setting you need to be careful about, as it could cause confusion on the pet sitter's part if they're not expecting that. It's a setting that you will always want to communicate your expectations with pet sitters before you turn it on.